All right. Last time in the world of Soma, or we should say one of the worlds of Soma, our heroes were drawn together through an interdimensional gap, drawing together two closely related alternate realities, crashing together heroes who both do and do not actually know each other. They were thrust into an epic final confrontation between the human warrior Alex, his mentor, Master G, better known as General Gear, and the despotic tyrant, General Wilhelm. They fought high atop the walls of Fort Cardatus. Gear was thrown down and broken on the dirt road below. Alex and his extra dimensional twin took up Gear's mantle. The party fought a difficult battle as Wilhelm was filled with this monstrous, multidimensional draconic energy, turning him into this strange half dragon monstrosity. The party triumphed, and the battle ended with a flood of multidimensional energy, leaving each of them with a strange artifact ripped from what appears to be a different version of their own life. The party buried the other Alex, the one from the other dimension, who died in the battle against Wilhelm, and we left off with them still in the village of name and other notes. I'm going to say the village of Crestwood, Alex's hometown. So, you all are in a bit of a strange position. For the rest of the resistance forces, this is an opening to strike a major blow against General Morin. They can take the city of Amaranth, they can take Fort Cardatus, they can reclaim the hinterlands. Except your part is mostly done. You have struck the head, and the forces are now scattered. What would you all like to do?
Are we taking a long rest at this point, or
Oh, yeah. And actually, I
Um,
phrased that very openly. Did you all actually make it to Shorewood? Yes. You all made it to Shorewood at the end of last session, right?
Remember, I think is everyone led. Shore was like not too far away because it came around the continent, and I think Alex stayed in the village a little longer. You know, be with family, mourn, the good stuff. I think everyone
Let's
else made it so
go to
far,
the record here.
if my memory serves me correct.
Whoops. Twitch has no uh, captions, so I can't watch it without watching it. So you all have a bit of an interlude. You have sort of consolidated your experiences and gone up a level. So Alex has some time to spend in Crestwood. The rest of you have access to Shorewood. What would you all like to do? Jack and Tiny, this world is almost the same, but has a few key differences to the one that you've known. Is there anything you all are interested in doing?
well, typically speaking, how quickly do we need to find these seals?
Also, I thought that there was some dude that might know a little something about how to get us back to our world.
Yes, and both of those questions will go to the same person. Um, Again, this strange dynamic. You know who this is, but they don't know you. You don't know where the versions of you in this world are. but you could never forget Varix Illen. Varix is essentially a mad scientist without the science. A consummate wizard, but specifically one who experiments in things that are maybe better left alone, including infamously his research on mimics and how mimics can be used to absorb magic directly out of the world. He was very interested in this property. And it did lead one of his creations to take over a town and turn it into a giant mimic lair. But you all managed to break him out of jail, recover his research supplies, and safely return him to Shorewood.
Fun times.
He has sort of a darker complexion and jet black hair. And he is kind of a pain to talk to. But you know where his labs are. He's slowly taking over more and more buildings on Shorewood as the giant infant world turtle continues to grow. He's constantly putting up new sheds and shacks and strange reinforced spaces. So would you like to go talk to Varix?
I would.
Yeah, that sounds like a good plan for us.
Asmir, would you like to join them?
I'll tag along, sure, out of curiosity.
All right. So you all make your way over to his labs. There's almost always a building in the process of being built and a building that's in the process of being repaired from some ridiculous experiment. But you make your way over. Varix just sort of makes like a half-hearted wave and doesn't even look up from his most recent project. He has some kind of strange... It looks like an orrery, sort of a model of to display the movement of planets and stars in orbit with each other. Except it's the most complicated thing you've ever seen. It's not just tracking like 10, 15, 20 things. It's tracking thousands of things. It fills up most of the room that he's working in. And he is just sort of absentmindedly like ducking as pieces swing past his head. So he waves and then he stops for a second and he looks up and he notices Jack and Tiny for the first time. And he says, "Now, wait, who are you two?"
I introduced myself. Hi, I'm Jack. Um, I know you, but I take it you don't know us.
Oh, extra dimensional variants. Got it. How did you get here?
That was easy. Um, and then I'll explain fighting those creatures and the portals that opened and showing up here.
So as you explain, Varix is just kind of like, and you almost feel like he's not paying attention. And then it's all at once, something that you said sends him spiraling. He literally like jumps out of his chair and is like flailing in circles, running around, like grabbing things, and he's speaking, but he's like, you don't understand any of the words. You just catch little bits like, oh, seals, multiversal seals in a multiversal array. Ah! And he's just running around like grabbing like bits of loose wire. He like smacks a chalkboard that like flips to a blank side and he starts writing. Just for fun, I'll let all three of you do this. Give me an Arcana check, and it has a super high DC.
Well, the lowest I can roll is a 15, so that's good. And I rolled exactly
Wow.
a 15. Neat.
Tiny, you consider yourself, like you're okay with magic, like you use it.
Oh. But my thing actually took my ability into account. So that it looks like I actually rolled a 7. But it bumped it up to a 10. So that's neat that it did that. Sorry.
Nice. So Tiny, you have a working knowledge of magic. You're not big on theory, and this is way past you. Jack, you like understand some words, but the unique combination doesn't mean anything to you. Asmir, you just catch little bits of it. Varix has realized something important. And you start to put a few pieces together yourself. There's only one Tiamat. But you all have been racing around fighting over these seals. But so have Jack and Tiny and their version of you all. There's something important there that you didn't know before. And you think this is what has Varix like running around yelling.
So like Tiamat's multi-dimensional or something.
Well, you've always known that.
Oh,
Sort
right,
of
yeah.
her origin to catch y'all back up. Essentially, there are seeds of worlds out in this huge astral sea, the sort of space between worlds. And when one of these seeds starts to germinate, for lack of a better metaphor, it draws deities from other worlds. It's sort of a starter business. And they come and they become the sort of foundational deities of that world, the primary major pantheon. But the astral sea is super dangerous. It's a lake of magic. It's an ocean of magic. And these world seeds form in these sort of perfect little inlets and calm zones. And some of them, most of them probably, stabilize and become permanent safe spaces for a world to grow in. But not all of them do. Sometimes worlds are naturally unstable. Their sort of safe bay in the astral sea is washed away, and the world will collapse into nothing. Usually, the deities of that world leave it. They go and hope to start over somewhere else. Tiamat didn't want to do that. She would be leaving behind a whole sort of pantheon that she had created, and a whole world that she had created. So instead of letting her world be destroyed and leaving, she swallowed her world, which is even more dangerous than it sounds.
Yeah.
So to maintain that safety, to continue to hold her world together, she needed incredibly powerful dimensional energy. And so it occurred to her, all of those stable worlds, well, they had a lot of dimensional energy. And so she began to devour them. Not destroying them, but subsuming them into her. Eventually, this made her grow so large and so powerful that a coalition of other deities resolved to put a stop to her. They couldn't kill her. It's hard to say if she was killable at all, but to do so would definitely destroy all the worlds she had swallowed.
Yeah.
So instead, they built a world as an anchor. A world that they could use as physical seals that would hold Tiamat into this multi-dimensional prison. And that, of course, is where your all's story picks up. Factions have been seeking out and destroying the seals, leading towards Tiamat's eventual release. But all that circles back around. What does it mean that there are more versions of the same world, all with their own set of seals?
That's a good question.
So Varix has grabbed all these random materials and is climbing all over this huge orrery that he had set up. And you see him start to do strange things. He takes like little pieces of tape and ribbon and he starts like marking certain things in this orrery. And you see him mark one after another after another. And then you see that there is this swirling constellation. These things that he has marked, it's almost like they're all spinning around the same unknowable point in space. Not the center of the orrery, but seemingly something inside of it. This whole time he's continued to yell and climb and jump around. He drops down like 25 feet up and lands right in front of you all. And he grabs like Asmir by one shoulder and Jack by the other shoulder. And he says, "Multiversal seals in a multiversal array."
Yeah. Sounds complicated.
There's no, you don't understand. We've been doing this all wrong.
Mm-hmm.
There's not there's not 12 seals. There's an infinite number of seals. But there's also an infinite number of things working to release the seals. He's frantically pacing back and forth. You can practically see, not practically, there is steam coming off of his head. The high magical environment in there, all of the arcane tattoos that Varix has put on his body, they are churning his mental energy into visual, like, viewable magical steam. If we had something that would help us to glimpse these other places, we could use it to help coordinate, to figure out where we need to go. And since Asmir is the only person who was here through this, Asmir, make an intelligence check with advantage for me.
Intelligence check. Okay.
As he's sort of ranting about something to let him see these other places, you remember something that you've been carrying around since you rescued Grandfather Winter. A small circular black obsidian mirror. The one that lets you see glimpses of other versions of yourself.
Mhm.
He's still ranting and running back and forth.
Wait, do I have the mirror on me, or does somebody else have it? I
I
can't
would
remember
assume you
who.
do. I don't know that it actually made it onto someone's character sheet, so we're going to assume you have it.
Okay. So yeah, I would go digging through my bag, like, oh, I don't know if this is important or not, and I hold it up to him.
He like rips it out of your hands, and he's like, "Yes, this." And as he looks in it, you can kind of see over his shoulder little glimpses of other Varixes. You see one that it almost seems to be made out of. There's a pulsing core in his torso, and the rest of his body is the same shape, but it's almost like it's made out of the materials of like a treasure chest. And little mouths open all over him. You see another version that is. It doesn't seem to be corporeal at all. It's just like a swirling cloud of cosmic dust and intellectual power. Another version that is a glowing, rune-inscribed human skeleton floating inside a vaguely human-shaped gelatinous cube. You get the impression that a lot of versions of Varix like dangerous experiments. You all might actually have one of the more stable versions of Varix.
Oh, there you go. That's nice.
He stares at it for a moment, and then he cackles and jumps up in the machine, and he situates it. And somehow the way he places it, light bounces off of it, like some kind of little magical spotlight. But where the light bounces off, it's a different shade now, a different tone. And the light hits some of these points in this orrery that he marked, and you watch it, somehow it refracts. It breaks apart into this crystalline web. And you can see it. This huge array of worlds centered around a seemingly blank space in this, what you now take to be map of the multiverse. He sort of comes back to himself, and he looks at Jack, and he was like, "Wait, what were you here for?"
What do you mean?
You introduced yourself, and then there was a mirror, and a genius happened. But why are you here?
I'm from one of those other dimensions.
I think they're trying to figure out why they're here too, and how maybe they can get back to where they're from.
There we go. We were retreading ground. Now we're back on track. All right.
Oh,
The answer for you, the solution for you, is the solution for all of this.
mhm.
We've got to figure out how to do what she does to break between places. This world is one leak on a massive ship.
Mm,
We can patch our little hole as much as we want, and the ship is still going to sink.
right.
I think we can do this.
Mm,
I think we can send you two home, and I think we might actually be able to win this. His eyes are kind of are distant but focused, like he's seeing something the rest of you aren't. I have an idea. It's big, it's beautiful, it's dumb, it's genius. I need you to rob the Thea Commerce Group.
My ears prick up a little bit at we're robbing someone, and I sound maybe a little too excited.
So, you all are also familiar with the Thea Commerce Group. For some reason, they seem to have been assisting these forces that are trying to break Tiamat loose.
Oh,
If you remember, you encountered that was how you all started in this world. There was a Thea Commerce Group operation that dug down and broke that first seal that you all were at. So the Thea Commerce Group is Amazon by way of the East India Company, if that makes sense. They're this huge multinational corporation that has power that rivals most of the kingdoms in this world. Varix lets the omniscient narrator quit speaking, and he goes, "Yes, exactly. And you're gonna rob them."
What exactly are we going to rob? What are we looking for?
We know that they have something that lets them open holes.
mm,
When you all crashed that airship, they were the ones who brought those people over. The folks from those other worlds. They're the ones who set all that up. They know how to do it. That means we need to know how to do it. An interesting point of contrast. Jack and Tiny, you remember being on an airship, but you all managed to land your airship successfully where it was supposed to go. Yours did not crash like theirs did.
well, you know.
So when we're robbing them, are we trying to steal information or like a device?
Probably both.
I love it.
He
Where
pulls another like chalkboard over and starts sketching. And he's like, all right, I've been thinking about it for 2.5 minutes, and I think I know how to travel between worlds. And he like sketches this like complicated arcane device. And he says, we need something like this. There has to be some kind of focus, something that lances the dimensional barrier open.
Hmm.
I bet they have some kind of spell or artifact or relic that's helping them do this.
Yeah,
um,
how are we gonna find that?
Well, you're going to have to break in. You're going to have to find the most secure lab at their central campus. And you're going to have to dig down and come out with something that looks like this.
are there any if so you sketched out a picture of something that a device might look like, but are there any runes or words I should look for when going through their papers to know if I found the right stuff? Because a lot of this is just going over my head.
Yeah. I got you. And he grabs a piece of paper and he just like holds his fingers together like he's holding a pen, but instead he just starts like twitching his hand, and you see all of this like all these complicated runes and formulas and equations start writing themselves out on this sheet. And he says, "You're looking for something like this. It's going to have some or all of these carved into it. I'd also bet you're going to see some of them near where they're keeping the device. This thing's going to have some wonky effects on reality. They're going to have to do something to keep space stable around it. That's going to help you find it. Here, hold on." He grabs like a couple of pieces of like wire and copper tubing and takes like an X-Acto knife. He like ties the whole thing together, carves little notches in it in a seemingly random pattern, and then he hands it to you and says, "Yeah, this doohickey will go off when you get close to the dimensional instability that this thing will create."
I'll take your word for it.
It looks like a piece of trash.
Yeah, that uh, even if I understood, I don't know. Um, do we know where these people are headquartered or located?
You would. Um, they actually have their own autonomous city state that they were granted by the Morin regime. So you're in the neighborhood of the right continent, and Shorewood could sort of drop you off there. But it's
And
sort of the go ahead.
getting into the city state won't be an issue, right? Or do we expect to have to sneak into the entire city?
Oh yeah, super dangerous. Lots of guards and weapons and traps and probably some like death robots. It's going to be a good time. You boys have got it.
Sounds like fun.
Uh,
Cool.
Hugh Man walks through the back and just gives you like a big thumbs up and a smile, and you see the mouth on his chest is smiling, and he gives you his big like half baked looking giant thumbs up. He's like, "You got this, guys."
All right. Um,
Your group never got to see Human eat anyone, did they?
I really hope not.
Just eyeballing this strange figure who just walked by, you get the impression that this is a humanoid mimic. Like, this is not actually a person. This is a mimic pretending to be a person in a much more convincing way than it should be able to, but still not that convincing. The face on the head is clearly like, it's almost like cartoonishly simple in detail. And then through like the open center of his shirt, you can see like a mimic mouth full of teeth and like a long pseudopod tongue, but it's smiling at you.
All right. Um, do I assume we'll be able to stake out the headquarters once we get there, but is there anything we need to know about these people?
So I'll ask before I say this. Aaron, would you like me to just sort of fill in all the things you all know about them, or do you want to give it a shot?
You can do it.
All right. Um,
And I
so
guess before you
go
go
ahead.
too much into it, I guess what I'm specifically asking is, do I have an idea of what sort of things I would need to prepare in order to sneak in? Like, are they very fond of traps or guards or both? Or what kind of traps? Like, what do I know about their tactics, I guess?
So you know that they're going to have a lot of materials. They're probably going to skew more towards traps and robots. There's still going to be a lot of personnel, but the personnel is not going to be as skilled, probably. They're probably going to be more sort of like uniformly trained. Uh, no one guard is going to be too exceptional. Um, they're not going to have like ninjas or something. You also know they're going to be, one of their big advancements is uh, integrating and interconnecting magical technology. They've been creating some of their own, but also just flat out stealing a lot of tech from the Phanarans. And so it's very likely that if an alarm goes off, if a trap is set off, if a warning is raised, it's going to instantly multiply the danger tenfold. Also, while the Thea Commerce Group staff might not be anything to write home about, when this group has encountered them in the past, they have had uh, Nebukar dark elves with them. Um, in this setting, the sort of there are lots of like normal, chill dark elves who live underground and you know get by just fine. Um, they get along with everybody. It's great. Uh, Nebukar is a lost kingdom of dark elves who were banished for doing just really the most vile and awful things. They do a lot of like magical, alchemical, and sort of cursed modifications to create essentially super soldiers. It seems very likely that there will be some of them on hand.
Um, And you say they integrate a lot of technology and magic?
Yes, you're going to see a lot of there's almost no like straight up technology in this world. Anything that looks remotely like technology has magic as its underpinning. Um, so what you're going to find is a lot of things that emulate um, what we would consider sort of modern tech. They're going to be able to communicate at a distance. They're going to be able to share information rapidly. They're going to have consistent observation of critical locations.
All right. Um, I'll turn to the group, I guess. Everyone who's here and from this world. And I'm going to say, so, anybody have any idea where I can buy or maybe capture a rust monster? Do you guys have that in this world?
Uh, Varix smiles a really sketchy smile and says, I might know a guy.
I feel like that could be really useful for us.
We'll jump over for a second. Alex, how you doing?
Oh, I'm doing just fine. So
So
Alex is over here checking out the farm life, catching up with his mom. Doing his best to not inspire his little brother Varric, or whoever's. It's been so long.
you got it. It was Varric. Because
Yeah,
you stole
Varric.
all your names from Dragon Age.
Yes. Trying to inspire Varric not to be an adventurer because it's dangerous since the other Alex is dead.
Yeah.
Granted, because Varric now has a full set of mithril armor, plate mail to wear. He's gonna be geared up to be a level 1 adventurer.
So you're able to really sort of unwind for the first time in a very long time. Um, how does Alex feel about having this sort of magical legacy from gear? These strange wings.
Say that again. You kind of cut out for me.
How does Alex feel about having these strange wings? These phantasmal wings left behind by gear.
He's excited but sad due to the fact that they're Gear's wings, and he misses his mentor, his master. When his dad was taken, Gear was the father figure. But they're pretty cool, and he knows he's going to enjoy them a lot, and they're going to be really useful for his up and coming fights. So it's a bittersweet moment for him.
All right. So you spend some time there. Is there anything else you want to do while you're there or on your way back to Shorewood?
You know, take a walk and watch a sunset. Because his life, it's been go 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 go, and he has one moment to breathe right now, and he's going to breathe.
All right. In the time that you're there, you have the chance to see several just gorgeous sunrises and sunsets over these hinterland fields, these endless agrarian plains that are just wheat and corn and grains just as far as the eye can see. long flat patches with the occasional rolling hill, and you can sit yourself on the top of the hill with your back up against a tree and just watch as the sun paints orange and purple and yellow out across the fields, bringing in and bringing out the day. We have this very poignant, serene moment, and we flip away to Brick, who is definitely doing something dumb with the other slabs. Probably eating that inscrutable meat that they just cook forever over fires and can sometimes be used as an explosive.
Explosive meat.
And we cut back to you all. Is there anything else y'all would like to do? So you're looking for some kind of rust monster. What else?
Well, if Alex makes it back in time, he would like to pick up some more health potions because I popped them. So I popped through mine.
Mhm.
Yeah, health potions would probably be a smart thing for all of us to purchase.
Let's go shopping.
So you are able to go visit the quartermaster, Malice, who is notes. Oh, come on, where is he?
Oh, actually, while we're still with that guy, before we leave, um, I have that manual that I picked up from the airship we were on before we got teleported. Can he look into that at all, or can I just give it to him?
Yeah, because you sort of ransacked one of the Phanerin research labs,
Yeah, it
right?
says Panarin It just says Panarin manual. I didn't get anything else from it, but I figured that smart guy might make more sense of it than I would.
Yeah, Varix freaks out. Uh, you all know the Phanerins are like jealously, aggressively defensive when it comes to their technology. And so getting several books of Phanerin theory is wild. You don't know what he's going to be able to do with that, but it's going to be something crazy.
Sweet. I'm just gonna delete that out of my inventory now. And then I have a custom item that says gold 1,000. I don't remember exactly what that was. Was it just 1,000 gold pieces?
Yeah, I think you shoveled 1,000 gold into a bag, but I had you all write it like that in case something wonky happened between worlds.
Oh, okay. So I can just add that to my normal gold now?
Yes.
Or does that gold not work in this world?
I think most people wouldn't worry about it.
Gold is
Gold is
gold.
gold. You might catch some weird eyes in certain places, but
Cool. And then I have enough money to buy a potion. I was worried about that.
oh yeah, and you would know this from the other world. Um, like there's a quartermaster here who essentially manages all the different supplies and resources, and generally hooks you all up with whatever you need to a certain
Oh,
extent.
oh, cool. Um, so we're not buying the potions then?
No, he'll basically just like hook you all up with a pouch of potions to take with you.
Gotcha. Final question then. Who would I ask about the cloudy green potion that I collected from the apothecary room?
I was afraid You were going to ask. I always think I'm going to remember. And apparently, I wrote no notes on what that potion was.
That's okay. I didn't know what it was anyway. You can make it up.
um, I will go back and pull where you grabbed that from the recording, and that'll tell me what it is, probably.
Okay. I'm not in any rush. I just want to make it known that I tried to identify it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that would be everything for me, I think.
Anything else for anybody?
Mm,
I just want my heal potions
mm.
so that I can pop them. That way the healer can heal other people.
Oh, that was good timing. Brick is going to get the ability to turn invisible whenever he's in dim light or darkness.
Oh, really?
Yup.
Huh.
And
Hope everyone has dark vision then.
it doesn't cost anything. He just steps into the dark and becomes invisible until he moves or until he attacks or steps into bright light. So he can
Oh,
even
wow.
move.
And not be seen.
He is going to be a menace in this next arc.
In what light? In what light does he do that?
Dim light or darkness.
Oh, he's gonna love me.
Yeah, y'all are going to be a real pain in the
Twilight
butt
Sanctuary.
together. Yep. Oh my goodness. All right, so you all get your resources together. Malice equips you all with assorted resources. I was hoping we'd have Brick by now. It's all right. We'll move on. So we sort of montage. You all, get all your equipment. Alex comes back, and you all are brought into a meeting. It's been a few days now. Stuff can only happen so fast, and you recognize some of the major players on Shorewood. There's Malice, Mallus, the quartermaster with his thin silver spectacles that he wears, and his small enchanted leather that shrinks down into it, or small enchanted ledger that shrinks down into a necklace. He's sitting there with Captain Rian, who is one of the first people you all met, who recruited you all to your very first mission. He was a young captain in the Carnian Royal Guard before the coup took place. And then Guildmaster Orin, who was the head of the Carnian Adventurers Guild, and a former ally of the royal family before the coup. So you all are brought into a meeting. It's the five of you, the three of them, and Varix. And Varix, you can see, is trying to explain what he told you all to the three of them, and they're just staring at him. He has like 5 different chalkboards set up. You don't know where he keeps pulling them from. Until, as you watch, he like reaches into a bag and pulls something out. And as he pulls it out, it unfolds into another full-size rolling chalkboard. And he sets it up and says, "Okay, before you can understand multiversal variant theory, you have to understand dimensional integers." And he starts like writing it all out. And they're just like, "No, not now." So Rian looks at you all and says, "So, we think we understand the important parts." And as he says that, he kind of glares at Varix, and Varix just kind of gives him a shrug, like, whatever. He says, "I think we understand the important parts of what Varix is telling us. Mr. Cadbury, Mr. Lafoot, we're sorry that you ended up here in these circumstances. I know this has to be disorienting and disappointing, but we want to be able to help you all get home as well. So, unlike certain people, we think it would be crazy to just try to drop you all right into one of the most guarded locations in the world. So, a window of time is about to open. With Cardatus fallen, with Wilhelm off the table, General Morin is more vulnerable than he's ever been. But he still has all the defenses of the capital and his own contingents of the army between us and him. We're expecting it to be a siege. It will be quite difficult for us to actually reach him and maybe finally take Karn back to how it should be. But it's going to take a while. But a large resistance army in the field attacking the capital is a really good distraction for Morin's allies. If we start laying siege to the capital, it should hopefully open a window where some of Thea's forces are out of place.
Mm.
They'll be deploying reinforcements. They'll be trying to supplement the Morin forces, and especially to get them supplies. That should give you all a window to break in and to steal what you need and hopefully survive.
Break into the city or break into their headquarters specifically?
Their headquarters. The headquarters aren't where the siege will be taking place. But some of their forces will probably go to support Morin and try to help break the siege.
Cool. Yeah. If we can find the rust monsters, that might even be able to distract them even more.
I'm gonna need a large bag of holding.
Varix turns around and says, "Hugh, hand me the thing." Hugh walks over and reaches down and opens the giant gaping mouth in his chest. And his tongue kind of like unfolds. And inside is a cage. And inside the cage, you see this crawling swarm. So you've has Jack actually seen a rust monster in person?
I'm gonna say no, just heard of them.
Um, Give me a I don't know, almost anything works. Perception, animal handling, nature, anything like that.
Perception.
There you
23.
go. Um, these are in the shape of rust monsters, but they don't look right. And actually, as you look at it, you realize these look to rust monsters the way Hugh looks to a human. Like the instead of the little like mandibled faces of a rust monster, it almost has just like a plain uh like two beady eyes and a plain smiling mouth. Um it looks like a again, almost like a cartoon of a rust monster. He says, I was able to whip these up in the lab. They should be good enough. And he takes a little piece of metal wire and he feeds it into the cage, and you watch them go like, and they swarm over it, and instantly turn it into like flecks of iron dust. And even those, they snap out of the air.
I dig it. Um, so here's my thought um, on how we sneak in, and we can go over it in more detail, but this is just a rough plan. Um, since since Brick will be able to turn invisible, him and I will sneak in while everyone is distracted, trying to find wherever it is that they're keeping this stuff. And then Alex and Azamir and Tiny can come in but go a different way, opposite of us, and release those rust monsters somewhere that will draw the attention of all the technology security things, and then they can get out of there, leaving the path open for me and Brick.
Right. And I need a bag of holding full of mystery meat so we can blow it up too.
Just so you know, inscrutable meat does in fact explode.
It'll be what?
Inscrutable,
Inscrutable
meat,
meat.
it does in fact explode.
It does explode, yes.
We're gonna bring a bunch of it. And on our way out, we're gonna blow up the place. And light it on fire. Like,
Just because.
And I have the ability to let us communicate telepathically for like an hour. So we should be able to talk while we do all this, even if we split up.
Can coordinate.
that's great. And then we need to and then someone else needs another bag of holding so we can put all the bodies in. That way they don't see us on the way in, but then we can leave a wall of bodies on the exit as the building's blowing up and being lit on fire of all their comrades. So they're actually stuck by their comrades' bodies.
This plan keeps getting better and better.
But yeah, so siege distraction. Brick and I try to sneak in, and
Rust mon-
if we get in trouble, you guys release the rust monsters to pull them away even more.
Or you could have somebody invisible release the rust monsters to pull everybody away, and then we all sneak in.
That could also be a possibility. And we'd even use a few inscrutable meats as distraction explosions or something.
Ooh, we could do that first, and then release the rust monsters if the technology stuff catches up to us. Have them distract those things. Anyway, let's do it. Let's get to the city.
All right. So the village on Shorewood is in a state of complete disarray. There are way more people than usual. Folks are running about. Allies are being called in from all over the world in preparation for this last major push to finally push out General Morin. Even though you all have sort of been drawn into some of these other larger goals, this is still kind of where it started for all of you. And so allies that you all recruited start to appear, forces that you rescued. You see a large contingent of archers from Augustford appear, the kingdom whose princess you all rescued on the Isle of Sorrows. You see not just the slabs that Brick commands, but also the Scarlet and some of the other mountain barbarian tribes are staking out camps on the island. You even see some of Grandfather Winter's elves preparing magical transportation to help teleport people where they need to go. Led by the very awkward Captain Amara, who is a little bit starstruck to be hanging out with weird magical elves. All of these forces are coming together, and your all's mission is being kept relatively secret. The story and the hope is that you all will finish this in time to join up with their forces for the last push into the capital. So resources are gathered, allies are gathered, and you all sneak away in the dead of night.
Before we snuck away, how many health potions were they able to, sneak away with?
So greedy.
I know, right?
Let's
I'm walked onto a point tonight.
take a look. Brick actually held on to several potions.
Well, I don't think Brick went toe to toe with General Wilhelm the entire time, like
Yeah.
Alex's did.
Excuse me. I'm topping up everyone's potions, so give me just a second. You've still got potions too.
Well, I had more. Is the thing.
I had more. 5 potions of healing, a potion of greater healing, and a potion of superior healing.
Oh, I had like 3 graders and 2 supers, and then I don't even think I touched the other ones, so they're about the same.
Also, in the interest of fairness, everyone make sure to get rid of your temporary hit points. They go away
Okay.
after a long rest.
Yep.
I would say if you did a
Yeah.
long rest, it goes away. At least for me, it did.
Yeah, mine are gone.
Oh, I didn't actually hit the long rest button.
Ah,
Oh, let's see. Wish I could just press like one button and it would like refill all of your potions.
like yeah, have like a preset amount. Anytime you go to the quartermaster, you get.
Very video game style.
Right.
I actually do feel like that helps because it discourages hoarding. So you can
Right.
be sure that people will like use potions when they need to. Whew, I am excited to be able to bring my physical potion bottles on Saturday for the first of my one shots.
Oh, right. Yes.
I'm also just dropping in some more little fun items for Tiny and Jack.
Santa!
No, they actually met him. It's Grandfather Winter.
Oh, right. Yes.
Grandfather Winter!
Man, I wish we had that arc recorded. That was so much fun.
Right.
Got freaking wild. Grandfather Winter versus Krampus versus the Ice Sorcerer versus Death Metal Viking Blood Santa.
Right.
Could you add the handy haversack to me?
Yep.
Just making sure it was the right item.
And like somehow Brick was able to like 1v1 Krampus, and then Alex couldn't even take on Ice Santa at all.
Out of curiosity, who's carrying around the rust monsters?
You can if you'd like to.
Okay, I'm fine with that. I just wanted to make sure that we didn't forget about them.
You're all about these rust monsters.
When metal technology stuff comes and attacks us, you're going to thank me that we can have a monster that rusts it out.
Just arbitrarily dropping more random stuff. I gave Tiny an Oitug cloak and a Pearl of Power.
Pearl of Power is good.
The cloak's
Sweet
also
things.
just fun. If you pull it up, you get magic eye stalks, and they increase your dark vision by 60 feet.
Cool.
But until then, you have magic eyeball antennas. All right. So you all are dropped off on a small boat relatively near a port and are able to put in and start to make your way overland towards the Thea Commerce Group HQ. You've been equipped with sort of basic knowledge of the facility. You do know that for security purposes, the whole sort of campus is enclosed in artificially created mountains. And there is a section that has to be traversed to sort of make your way in. There are other exits, but most of them are tightly controlled and run through artificial tunnels that have been carved into these fake mountains that are going to have lots of security. So as you all approach, night is starting to fall. Overshot. And I actually remembered to drop you on a map. But the question is, can you see?
I can.
Hey, Colby.
Uh-huh.
Going back just a little bit, as I was going through my items, I found one more thing that said crystal to inspect. Could I have had somebody inspect that crystal?
Oh, crystal to inspect. Yes.
Again, doesn't have to be right now. I just want it noted that I did try to do that.
You grabbed... Oh, okay. Yeah, those were the psionic crystals that you broke out of that crystal chamber. Yeah, that'll be another good one for... That'll be another good one for Varix to look at.
That's fine. I could have given it to him at the same time.
So as you all approach, you can see that there is a sort of high mountain road. And it takes you from essentially ground level up to the sort of artificial elevation of the headquarters. What you can also see, though, is that there are patrols. I don't know why I'm always surprised when I stumble across something from Muppets. But I just look and I'm like, why do I have a mouse knight? So here's sort of what you see. There's an expanse of mountain road here. And as you all sort of watch from the tree line, you can see there are patrols moving around. There seems to be three sort of large trained drakes moving at intervals down the path. It also looks like there's a couple of sets of human staff who are also patrolling. Jack, give me an intelligence check with advantage.
Straight intelligence.
Yep. All right. Uh, with your sort of um, with your sort of background in general thievery and shenanigans, um, you recognize a patrol pattern when you see one. And a couple of things come to mind. The drakes, much like dogs, are probably going to have keener senses than the infantry. But all they can do is sort of make a racket and attract attention from other forces. The infantry, however, probably have some means of signaling headquarters. If you give them too long, there's a good chance they're going to bring other stuff down on your heads here. So, how would you all like to approach this?
Um, are they all spaced out fairly regularly, or um, are they all going together, or are any of them stationary?
Um,
How exactly is this?
they all seem to be in motion. They seem to be moving along the sort of uh, carved out path. They are not moving in like a single cluster, um, but generally they can see each other, at least like one other group along the way.
And they're doing a full circuit, or are they going back and forth, like each have their own section to cover?
They seem to be doing a circuit.
Is there, well, I guess I wouldn't have any way of knowing. Hey, Alex, as a fighter, do you have any way of telling if any of these groups are weaker than the other?
Honestly, I based on skills, no. Based on Alex's experience, maybe.
Yeah, he doesn't have the battle master feature, so no direct statistical knowledge.
Well, but I mean, like, still, like, could he look and be like, oh, these people seem less armored, or this Drake seems not, his claws don't seem as sharp.
I'll uh, I'll let whoever you want make this check. This is going to be an insight check with advantage, and one person can make it.
I mean, my insight's pretty good, but I don't really know if I should have any reason to know it.
And I think that'd be
I
part of
mean,
your job
yours.
too.
Can I also touch him with guidance while he does that
Sure.
for to add 1d4 to his ability check?
And I'll also use one of my uh, psychic die to enhance it as well.
All right.
Sonic power, psychic energy. So an 18 plus 2 plus 7.
Jeez.
So 20,
7.
27? Yeah.
So you get some pretty sharp insight here. None of these figures are powerful. Nobody here is too tough. The bigger danger is the humans being able to get off some kind of signal. You figure they'll probably need a second, but if you leave them alone for like a round or two, you're likely to end up um, facing a lot more forces.
Do I get a sense that we might be able to sneak by them and avoid confrontation altogether?
Yeah, it's entirely possible. It's probably going to be more difficult, but at the same time, it's sort of the highest possible outcome because if you take out any of these guards, someone will notice they're missing eventually.
Well, I relay all this information to my group. Um, I am all for the sneaking aspect, but I understand that some of you may not be as skilled in that area, so I'll leave it up to a vote.
I mean, I'm willing to sneak as long as until we get caught, and then it's we have to go guns a blazing. How does that sound?
I mean, if we get caught, we have to make sure to take the humans out quick. Otherwise, this whole mission is bust. If they know we're coming, there's not a lot we can do to steal stuff.
Easy. You rust smite through every door that's in the way, and just leave a trail of bodies. I mean, these guys want to destroy our world. Let's destroy them.
I mean, just to be clear, this place probably has thousands of people in it. This is not like 50 people up in the middle of nowhere. This is like a small city.
Yeah, let's not get caught.
All right. I'm going to give some quick pointers to everyone about how to be stealthier, move, how to place your feet. Um, Try not to let your keys jingle in your pocket, and let's go. I wait for an opening, and I try to sneak past the path.
Oh, it's too big.
That's a big circle around that thing.
Oh, it's too big. I don't understand why the default setting for auras is that players can't see them.
Yeah.
I understand having the option, but it's weird that it's the default.
Mhm.
I feel like this will help sort of gamify our mechanics a little bit so that you can see what's going on.
Right.
We're going to say that this is like Jack is using Rapscallion mode and is putting his expertise in evading guards to work. All right. So I'm going to have you all go ahead and roll for initiative.
initiative.
Yeah.
That's going to make sneaking a lot harder as a group.
If only you had magic.
Nice.
It's not a great start. Brick got a nat 1. All right. So here's going to be your saving grace. Everyone doesn't move at the same time. So sometimes they are going to bunch up with each other, and sometimes they're going to get farther apart. So our first creature moves. It has a movement speed of 30. They are not in any particular rush. Oh, I just realized I was moving this whole line. So you all see these figures moving back and forth. There we go. Now I shouldn't accidentally drag it around. So you see these figures moving. The guards are not on like high alert. They're just kind of gently paying attention. All right, Asmir, you're the first PC to go.
Oh.
What? I rolled higher than him.
Oh, actually, you rolled the same. But your dexterity is probably higher. So, Jack, you're first.
Okay.
It says I rolled an 18 and he rolled a 17.
Mine shows that you rolled a 17.
I see 17 and.
Roll a 17.
Oh, no, wait. Tiny rolled a 17. Jack rolled an 18, yeah.
Oh, you're right. You're right. Yeah, for some reason, however you roll doesn't send anything to D&D Beyond.
Me?
Yeah.
I just clicked the initiative button.
Somehow
That's weird.
you've got it so it doesn't send anything to me.
Sorry.
It's probably the add-on because I have the add-on set to like ask everything, and usually I don't know. Last time I thought that was supposed to fix it, but I don't know if it does.
Sorry. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, we've had that.
Yeah, it's got to be through the add-on because it's nothing on your character sheet. But anywho, all right, yeah. So then Jack is first.
Are these like cliffs and hills and stuff? Is it difficult terrain if I just go straight?
So define straight. So you're probably gonna have to make a jump there. You could
Okay,
either, yeah,
but I could maybe go around.
yeah. If you go that way, it's smoother terrain. But you do have the option in some places where you could like jump across or maybe drop down below and deal with difficult terrain, but be able to move more easily.
Gotcha. Let me think for a quick second. My Chrome is acting weird. Won't let me measure. It keeps going away.
Have you switched to the new AI, or I mean the new UI?
No, I tried switching back and forth and it's been doing it on both. Okay, so what I'm just going to try and do is move over here to the edge of the tree line, and I'm just going to uh, I'm going to use my action to dash to get over here, and then I'm going to bonus action hide.
All
Because
right.
I can bonus action hide using my cunning action. And then hopefully that will make it easier for me on my next turn to dash across. And that'll be my turn. Do I need to roll stealth?
Yes. Go ahead and roll a stealth check.
Aha, natural 1, but I got a 22.
Jeez.
The lowest I can roll is a 10, and I have a plus 12.
Can we just give you permanent stealth?
All right. Then next up is Asmir.
Okay. Oh my god, is my move speed 30?
Does any of this terrain like naturally hide us?
The trees are going to give you enough cover to hide. You can also theoretically drop down below, which is going to make it. You're going to need to make some athletics checks and kind of work your way across. But if you drop down, you're going to be harder to see.
What time of day is it again?
It is dusk.
Does that count as dim lighting for Brick?
I think so.
He's invisible. Nice.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna cast haste on myself. And yeah, okay, so then let's see. 30, 60. I'll just hang out though. I guess I should roll stealth, right?
So if you use your action to cast haste, you actually can't hide. Like that is an action you have to take.
Oh, I can't do hide. I can't like sneak or whatever.
No, because that takes an action to start.
Uh,
I was
okay,
able to hide as a bonus action because I'm a rogue.
gotcha. Okay, so any of those other times when we did stealth moving around, we were using an action to.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, well, I'm gonna say with the terrain and everything, hopefully I was hidden anyways.
All right. Next up is green. Then it is Alex. Alex.
Yeah. So let's see here. 30. Now here's the fun one. Do I dash and not hide? Or hide and not dash? Says the questions to ask tonight.
Dip, duck, dive,
It's gonna
dash.
take me a lot of turns, but I think I will. I'll just hide. You know, I was gonna lay flat on the ground, like behind a tree. Stay hidden.
Something you have going for you that you don't want to forget is, as a bonus action, you can get a fly speed equal to your walking speed. So you
That's
can
right.
you can move in straight lines if you want to.
Yeah, I thought about casting fly, but I thought that'd be a little bit more difficult to make, like sneaking around easy. But
I mean, you don't want to fly like way up above.
yeah, but I guess you could kind of just hover above the ground.
So what I do as a bonus action, based on wording, does it not take a charge, or is it does take a charge?
So you can either have fly speed for a minute, no questions asked, for the cost of one charge, or you have to you have to be on the ground at the end of every turn.
Oh, well, I can just be on the ground for right now.
Yep.
But kind of worried about this guy here. Let's say that's 25. We'll probably be about there. 25, 30 away. I could be there. Now I'll hide.
All right. Do you want to give me a stealth check? Are you
Well,
metaphorically
so far it's
hiding or
better.
actually hiding?
Based on the stealth check, we're gonna find out. Oh shit. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna hide too well. I'm not good at this.
Yeah, it's not ideal for you.
I'm not a stealthy person.
Jack turns around and goes, "Man, I was telling you not to let your keys jingle." Shh.
I'm sorry, I have a lot of them. We were so screwed.
All right. Next group moves. Tiny, you're up.
Yeah, I guess the theme is just to move and then hide. And I'm going to be real slow at both of these things.
Out of curiosity, how did Alex go before Tiny?
And that's as far as I can move
Alex has an 8 and Tiny has a 7.
at a 17.
Did you actually have advantage, though?
Yeah, I have a skill thingy that I give myself advantage on initiative, vigilant blessing. Yeah, that thing.
Yeah, that's good to know.
I can technically touch somebody else if I wanted to give it to them.
That's weird, though. It auto-filled. Huh.
I guess it doesn't really matter that much since they go right after each other. But I was just curious.
Yeah,
Well, Tiny would actually go with Aaron, with Asmir.
yeah, this is true. But it's okay. But it is good to know for future reference.
You could also cast invisibility on yourself, Colin, if you wanted.
I was considering that.
Hmm.
It would last for a minute. You think we could make it across this map in a minute?
Maybe wait a round or two.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
You're
So
not gonna have to wait
I'll
very long.
move to there, and then I will also try and hide. And I'll do it with this guidance cantrip 2 to add a 1d4.
All right. Brick. We're going to assume that Brick started in invisibility because it costs nothing to start.
Uh,
So Brick's going to be crazy, to the surprise of no one.
I mean, I'd go crazy if I was invisible.
yeah, right.
Brick is going to Brick is going to shadow step to here,
Hmm.
and then he's also going to dash. So Brick has like 70 feet of movement left. So Brick is invisible and chilling over here now.
All right.
All right, it is Blue Critter's turn. Now this set of guards. And yellow. And it's Jack's turn.
You said it's my turn?
Yeah.
Did the guy not move?
He goes after you.
Oh, I really thought he went first. Um, okay. Um, well, I can't seem to do anything. Okay, I'm not actually moving. I just have to drop my character so that I can measure stuff. Okay, so yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to move 30 feet, then use my action to dash another 30 feet, and then finally use my cunning action to dash again, arriving where my character currently sits. Hopefully out of sight of most things.
All right. Asmir. Wait, did you say you were going to hide?
No, I used my
Okay.
bonus action to dash a second time,
Cool.
so I can't hide. I'm just hoping that I'm out of sight.
All right, Asmir, you're up.
Okay. Uh, um, we'll attempt to follow Jack's lead. Uh, do I roll stealth first, or do I move first?
Um, you're probably going to want to roll stealth first.
Okay.
Should I have rolled stealth since I was moving quickly?
Ooh, nope, never mind. I'm not gonna be stealthy.
I think I'll stick with the circles.
You'll stick with the what?
The circles. It's maybe not 100% realistic,
Gotcha.
but otherwise it gets a little out of control to manage.
Gotcha.
Oh, right, yeah. Mm, And since I've already did stealth, does that mean I can't dash this round?
You cast haste, right?
Yeah.
Haste gives you an extra action.
Okay. 10, 15, 20, 60. And then dash would only let me do another 30, right?
No, you have double movement speed. So you'd move
Oh,
60 and then dash for another 60.
oh crap. I'll dash, but I might not use the full 60s because I don't want to get ahead of. Okay, there we go. And that is everything I can do.
All right. Just going to leave rotation where it is. Green is going to move. Alex, you're up.
So,
What you
like,
gonna
what's the
do?
likelihood of when I run across this path that this damn thing's going to see me?
I think the circles are supposed to be their threat range or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you stay out of their circle, you'll be fine.
That's hard to do. 20, 25, 30, then bonus action fly. And kind of puts me down the goalie.
If flying was a bonus action, can you drop into the gully and use your action to hide?
Well, technically, I have to drop into the goalie.
How much movement have you used?
That would technically be 60.
So that's already a dash. It's giving you a flying speed, but it's not giving you like extra movement, if that makes sense.
Oh, that's a dash then.
Yeah, it's a different way to spend your movement.
That makes more sense. So yeah, that's the dash. That's my action. That's where I landed.
All right. Give me an athletics check. Let's see how well you stuck your landing.
never mind.
All right. You managed that pretty well. Although it's still going to be very interesting next turn. That thing's going to get very close to you.
It's probably gonna see me. I'm hoping that being down below is gonna help me out here when probably won't.
Yeah.
The humanoid guards move, and it is Tiny's turn.
So I'll just move wherever I can, 25 feet. And hide.
All right. It is Brick's turn. I think Brick has a decent chance of making it out of this whenever he wants to. So he's actually going to chill in case he has to come support one of you all.
Can we make a suggestion for what he can do?
Sure.
Can he, since he's invisible, like find a rock or something and throw it over here in between the humans and the beast? Like just make a noise so that maybe on the next turn the beast will be distracted and not see Alex.
Let me double check what causes his invisibility to drop.
All right. Yeah.
I guess it is, in the most technical sense, not an attack or casting a spell.
Yeah, I don't want him to hit anybody. I just want him to make some noise, like in this general area. Something that might, delay that thing from stepping forward.
So we're gonna do this as a ranged attack against an AC of 10. And if he fails, interesting things will happen. Oof, he got a 20. He dropped it right where he wanted to. So he wanted it like here?
I don't know. Whatever you think would be appropriate to potentially distract this thing from moving forward on its next turn.
Yeah.
To make it double, not necessarily double back, but at least pause.
So he throws a rock, it rustles some bushes, and we will see on their turns how they respond.
Works for me.
It is Blue's turn. Humanoid guards. Accidentally walking some of them into the abyss. Yellow's turn. And Jack's turn.
Um, um,
Yeah, I know you're looking at me. Just finished building.
I'm just going to hold an action, I guess.
She just after the chairs were done.
Trying to, if it doesn't look like that thing got distracted, I'm gonna try and throw another rock in a similar area.
All right.
If it only if it doesn't look like he got distracted.
Then it is Asmir's turn.
Okay. Wait, so what did Jack do?
Jack held an action.
Oh, okay. He's getting ready to. Hmm.
I'm going to try and distract it more if it didn't get distracted,
Yeah.
basically.
Right. And I'm going to try to hide again. I'm gonna just chill here in the trees. And yeah, I'm just gonna hang out here.
All right. It is Green's turn. It is going to make a perception check. If it does well, so if it fails, it will go for the distraction. If it does reasonably well, it will figure out that it's a distraction. If it does exceptionally well, it's going to be looking for who threw the rock. It got a 17.
It could just miss it as like a rabbit or something.
That's okay. It's okay, guys. Brick is invisible. It will not find him.
Might find somebody else though. But
Yeah.
But I mean, if he goes for for the area where the rock came from, there's going to be
this is
no
true.
one there. And it's keeping him from Alex. That's the important thing.
True.
Oh, okay. Brick got a 22 on a stealth check. So it is looking for something now. I wish I had that little exclamation point I could put over it.
Right. Like Metal Gear Solid or whatever when they.
Yep.
What's that noise?
The guards got a 13. It's on their way. That was already where they were headed. So they're just going to kind of look around, but not go out of their way. So, Jack, do you want to do something with your reaction?
As long as it doesn't look like that thing's moving forward, I'm not going to draw its attention to me. No.
Oh, it was its turn, and I didn't have it move, did I?
Mm-hmm.
Um, it thinks it was a distraction. Here's how we're going to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Does that look nice and threatening?
It does.
It is now actively looking around.
It's on alert.
All right.
Well, that's kind of the opposite of what I wanted to have happen.
It was a good plan.
All right, Alex, you're up.
I was just going to use his bonus action, fly to, get out of this without any problems.
If you can move more than that, you probably should.
Be 30. Go back into this goalie here and dive into it. think that'll be my turn. I got a plan now. A movement.
All right. The guards move. They're just kind of vaguely keeping an eye. They have not gone into like full alert. Tiny, you're up.
Invisible might be a good call now.
Yes. So did that big red dude? Did he actually move, or did he just like
No,
stop there
he
and,
was.
and just go on high alert?
Yeah, he was distracted by whatever was behind him.
Cool.
Sorry, I really thought I had a good idea.
It could have been cool.
I'll say
to-
high risk, high risk, high reward.
yes, yeah.
Yeah, I think we're gonna go invisible. This greater invisibility. Where is it? Here, I can find it. I know I have it here.
It's a 4th level spell.
4th level spell. Okay. So yeah, we'll cast that guy. I don't know why it's making me roll that. Let's see where we want to move. Let's read. Do I have any bonus actions that could be helpful? No, I think we're gonna just stop right there, being invisible.
All right. Next is Brick. So, Brick's previous attempt did not go well. Do you want to have him try something else?
That would be up to everyone else.
Hmm.
Well, then, otherwise, Brick will just sort of hang out and wait for something else to
Right.
happen. It is Blue's turn. Humanoid guards. Yellow. And Jack.
Okay. I really don't want to go too far because I don't want to leave Tiny behind in case
Yeah.
something happens. But I need to get a little further away because I feel like he might see me if he rounds the corner.
Right.
So I'm gonna move over near Asmir and I'm gonna hide in the tree. Should I roll stealth for hiding?
Yes.
$25.
Were you trying to
How
end
did I
up next
jump all
to...
the way over there?
Yeah, I was about to say, it seemed like you were trying to end up next to Asmir, and that was not where you went.
I am trying, and like I said, my browser is being dumb, and I can't do anything properly.
All right.
He astral projected himself.
Asmir, you're up.
Okay.
Also, I'm gonna go to the restroom real quick. I'll be right back. Keep
All right.
playing.
Jack relieves himself in the tree. Uh, I, I have nothing. Yeah, I don't really want to move too much farther either. I might hang here until everybody else can catch up.
All right. It is Green's turn. Green is still agitated. Oof. This is where it goes off the rails, folks. Oh no, that's right though. We need to give you an icon for invisibility. I looked at it and I was like, is he just standing there? So this green drake comes within range of Tiny, but Tiny is hidden by a veil of shadowy magic. Alex, you're up.
You know, guys, maybe I'll wait for you at the end, and you guys wait for Tiny because I feel like I'm one of the slower people,
Mm,
and just getting there is probably good for me.
probably a good point.
And with Fly, you have a beautiful opening.
Oh, I
That's true.
know. That's why I want to take. That's why I want to take it so bad.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
And I'm back.
All right.
Now my Chrome's acting weird.
30. Then I think we'll dash it. We'll wait here, and then next turn. 'Cause I don't think this damn Drake will see me, and they're all going that way.
Yeah, you've got kind of a window there.
Yeah,
I'm gonna fly over here, and then I'll wait for you guys in the trees.
there you go.
That is my plan.
All
I
right.
like it.
The human guards move, and then it is Tiny's turn.
All right, so we're going to move and then Misty Step to teleport and then dash.
Awesome.
So I think that should give me a range of 80, which is going to put me
Do you
Just
get to stay
somewhere in here.
invisible?
Oh, that's a good question.
Yes,
With
greater
that,
invisibility is only broken after a minute or if he loses concentration.
cool. We're going to end up there then. Grab. Boom.
Amazing. I love it.
All right. That was Tiny. It is Brick. Brick is still holding down the fort. Blue.
Yeah.
And yellow. And Jack.
Okay. Now that we're past this, I'm feeling a lot more confident about getting to the end. So I'm going to be dashing again.
What a dashing rabbit.
So that's my movement and action, and then I will bonus action, or cunning action rather, dash again.
All right.
And that would get me there. Hopefully, no one decides to double back.
Next is Asmir.
Okay, then. See how much stealthy I can add. Oh, okay. Well, that's one way to do it. Okay, there we go. I think that was it.
All right. Man, y'all are really making your way. All right. It is Green's turn. Green is still agitated. Alex, you're up.
Perfect. I'm going to, fly. $30. And then I want to dash into the trees.
All right, that puts
Oh,
you
that spot feels perfect. Should be good.
out of reach, and the guards go, and then it is Tiny's turn. And Tiny also kind of has open season here.
Yeah.
Yep.
Trying to decide which way I want to go. How quickly do we want to do this? Because I'm only slow out of the way. We're gonna just move and then dash to get here. Where did I drop that? Was it here?
Je ne sais pas.
What was my 50? There we go. Alrighty.
It is Brick's turn. Brick is going to go ahead and shadow step. And then 50 feet. And then another 50 feet. Shadow monks don't have as many like universally useful tools as other monks, but holy crap, the stuff they do well, they do stupid well. Blue moves. Upper guards move. Yellow. And Jack.
trusting that Tiny has a plan, and I'm going to just make it to the end of this trail.
So at this point, unless y'all want to do something specific, I'm only going to move Tiny and the guards.
Yeah, so that's where I would end up. But no, the only thing I would do specific would be if it looks like Tiny's in trouble.
Asmir, are you doing anything?
Moving closer to the exit, yeah, like
Cool.
upward.
I'm assuming that if you're up there, you're already kind of in a good range.
Yeah.
Tiny, you're up.
I'm going to, as a bonus action, fly, and then I'm going to dash 50 feet to get all the way up in here.
All right. So you are no longer invisible, but you are flying. Or are you using some
It's
power?
Steps of Night. As a
Okay.
bonus action, when you're in dim light, magically give yourself flying speed.
Oh, yeah. Then you can keep up your invisibility too. Although it'll be dead here in a second. All right. That got all of you over. I'm really proud of you guys. I thought for sure you'd end up killing some of these people.
Right.
I was worried for myself there for a bit.
I was worried once we put the thing on high alert.
It's also
I got
a
a
really
roll.
good thing that none of you pushed your luck with invisibility. All the drakes had 10 feet of blind sight.
Oh,
So if you tried to go like right in front of them or right behind them, they would have seen you.
oh gosh.
Nice.
I thought you were going to say true sight. Oh, that'd have been really crazy. But yeah. But blind sight's bad enough.
I think one of them does have maybe no blind, but blind sight would notice invisibility.
But yeah, I was say because yeah.
All right, so you all make it through this pass, and you find yourself at like the top of a ridge, looking down into a mountain-ringed valley. And when I say valley, this is a huge space. This is like it's not like the largest city you've ever seen, but I would say it is larger than Village on Shorewood. There are rows of giant warehouses. There are facilities that look like they are some kind of manufacturers or artificers. You see several large you, the characters, probably don't recognize them, but you, the players, would recognize them as office buildings. Not towering, only like maybe 6 stories.
What?
Office buildings. They're sort of
okay.
6 stories, sort of a square footprint straight up. You also notice there are paths that lead out towards the mountains. There is also a large lake, which, confusingly, has a dock. And at the center, and sort of ahead of you down this path, is the sort of central square, where you can see what looks like a tavern / eatery, a stable, and some kind of temple. And as you look down, we cut away and we see the arrayed forces of the resistance beginning to march towards the capital of Carnes, heading to try and take back the empire from the tyrant General Morin. And we will pick back up next week to see what happens next. So I'm going to cut off our stream. Bye, Internet.